Welcome back to Agile Biz Leaders, your home for leadership insights in the age of Agile and AI. I'm Sean Mukaraj, and today we're continuing our deep dive into the pmbok 8th edition. Our goal is to move past the jargon and give you the practical, high-level shifts you need to stay ahead of the curve. Let's get started. If you've been following the evolution of the pmbok guide, you know that the 7th edition was a massive shift toward principles. While that was a great step for mindset, practitioners worldwide asked for more practical, structural guidance. The 8th edition is PMI's answer. It's a hybrid evolution that bridges the gap between mindset and mechanics. We can group the major changes into 4 core pillars. First, there's a total refresh of foundational terminology to reflect modern work, think AI and data. Second, the 12 principles from the previous edition have been refined into 6 clear, actionable behaviors. Third, the familiar project lifecycle is back. The process groups have returned as focus areas. And finally, the performance domains have been evolved to give us a structured, non-prescriptive map for project governance, risk, and delivery. Let's break down what these changes mean for your daily leadership practice. One of the most profound yet subtle changes in the 8th edition is the update of our professional vocabulary. You might think we all know what a project is, but PMI found that some of our foundational definitions hadn't been touched in over 40 years. The world has changed, and our language needs to catch up. There are 3 main drivers for these updates. First is timeliness. We've seen the discipline mature and expand into tech, healthcare, and social impact, areas the original definitions never fully envisioned. Second is global accessibility. As our community becomes more international, the 8th edition moves away from academic jargon and toward a more inclusive plain English style that is easier to translate and understand across cultures. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, is the focus on value. In the past, project management was about efficiency, hitting the date, the budget, and the scope. Today, the marketplace doesn't just want an output, it demands a value proposition. The updated terms reflect this reality. A project isn't successful just because it's finished, it's successful because it delivers measurable value. Let's look at how these refined concepts reshape our day-to-day work. Now, let's look at the heart of the new standard, the principles. In the previous edition, we had 12 principles to keep track of. While they were insightful, many practitioners felt they were a bit overwhelming and often overlapped with each other. The 8th edition changes that. Through a massive community-driven effort, these have been consolidated into just 6 core principles. This isn't just about making the list shorter, it's about making it more actionable. PMI's goal here was to minimize the noise and confusion. By merging concepts like stewardship and leadership into one accountable leader principle and creating a unified, holistic view for systems thinking, the guide becomes much more practical. These 6 principles are your North Star. They guide your behavior and decision-making throughout the project lifecycle. For those interested in the why behind each change, Appendix X5 in the new guide provides a deep dive into this evolution. But for us, the takeaway is clear. Less fluff, more focus on what actually drives project success. If you felt a bit lost without the process groups in the 7th edition, you aren't alone. PMI's research showed that 80% of practitioners wanted these foundational concepts back. In pmbok 8, they made their triumphant return, but with a modern twist. They're now called focus areas. So why the name change? Historically, process groups were treated as strict, logical buckets for formal processes. But in today's world, we know that work doesn't always happen in a linear, textbook way. We manage projects through a mix of formal processes, informal team rituals, and flexible company policies. By reimagining these as focus areas, pmbok 8 acknowledges that while every project still needs to be initiated, planned, executed, controlled, and closed, the way you do it is up to you. Whether you're running a 2-week sprint in an agile environment or a multi-year construction phase, these focus areas provide the structural safety net we've been missing without forcing us back into the rigid command and control mindset of the past. It's the perfect bridge between structure and agility. Now we get to the actual engine room of pmbok8. Based on overwhelming feedback, PMI has evolved the performance domains to be much more practical. If you remember the knowledge areas from the 6th edition, things like scope, schedule, and cost, they haven't disappeared. Instead, they've been synthesized and matured into 7 updated performance domains. This creates a more unified way of working, where specialized knowledge isn't siloed, but is part of a continuous flow. But here's the headline change. The processes are back. pmbok8 includes a selection of 40 evolved processes. However, and this is critical for our agile leaders, these are non-prescriptive. They're not rigid rules you must follow. They're a formalized series of activities you can use, depending on your project's needs. To help you decide what to use, PMI has moved tailoring directly into the heart of each domain. You'll find specific considerations and examples right where you need them. It's no longer about following the book. It's about using the book's tools to build a custom approach that fits your specific context, life cycle, and environment. This is the ultimate toolkit for the modern, adaptable project leader. Thanks for watching. Transitioning to pmbok8 isn't just about new rules. It's about evolving your leadership mindset. If this was helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to join our community of agile leaders. Until then, keep leading with agility and vision.